The government has been trying to legislate to protect children and adults' well-being online. The online safety bill was brought about after 14-year-old Molly Russell took her own life after repeatedly engaging with content that dealt with self-harm and suicide online.
But now the government's been accused of watering their new laws down. It's a move which has left campaigners baffled. Our political editor, Andy Bell, joins us now to explain more. Andy, good to see you tonight. Tell us what's in it.
Well, for a start, there are some new crimes going to be in this bill, which, among others, encouraging self-harm online. That will become a crime. And sharing intimate images without consent, that will also become a crime. And there's also things that the government wants the big tech companies to do. The first is take down illegal content. That sounds pretty basic. You would hope they would be doing that, but that's one of the things the government wants them to do. Also, take down any material that breaches the company's own terms and conditions. And also, allow the users of these sites to have more control over the sort of material that is pushed towards them. Now, there's also a huge amount of concern, obviously, about children who are too young getting access to these sorts of sites. Today, the minister in charge has said that they are tightening up the law to make sure that the tech companies really do take this much more seriously.
One of the changes is that we know all these major platforms say you have to be 13 to join, but we also know that a lot of 10, 11, 12-year-olds are joining these platforms, and nobody is holding the social media companies to account. So we're saying, no, you have to enforce that 13 age group bracket, and you have to explain to parents and everybody how you're going to do that.
So those are some of the key things that are in it. What about what's been left out? Because that's a really controversial area, isn't it?
Yes, there was a lot of discussion about material that was going to be classed as legal but harmful. That was going to be in the bill. But the government has decided that that's basically just too hard to define, and they were worried that it would also restrict free speech. So that's now not going to be in the bill. But that does raise questions because, for example, Molly Russell, who took her own life at the age of 14, today her father has been saying that he believes a lot of the material that she was bombarded with would fall into this category of being legal but harmful. So some are worried that that actually means that the bill has been watered down. Now, the government's insisting that the legal but harmful material is only really applicable to adults, that the tech companies will still be told they have to protect children from this kind of stuff. And children's charities do believe that while they want to see more detail about what's actually going to be in this bill, they do hope that this is the start of making the big tech companies behave in a different way.
This wasn't the case 5 years ago when Molly Russell was bombarded with this type of content. But in the future, once this regime is up and running, we should see a change in the technology companies where they're incentivized to think about safety first, safety before profit. And that's when we'll get the good outcomes of protecting children.
And the way the government hopes they'll be able to enforce this is through big fines, maybe up to 10% of the global turnover of these companies. And they're hoping to get this made law in the next few months.
OK, thank you for explaining all that, Andy.